A quick video on F1 2018, a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of discussion about the upcoming F1 2019 season, what I'd like to see, and possibly changes to the F1 2018 game that I'd like to see implemented into the 2019 game. So, hope you enjoy, and let's get on with it. So, you joined me probably around halfway through my personal career mode. It's my first season. Just got to Hockenheimring, so driving for McLaren Honda, obviously if you can't see, went in a bottom team, mostly because it's where my favourite driver ended up, Fernando Alonso. Sad to see him go from the sport, really. So yeah, let's just jump straight in and let's have a quick look at upgrades that we can possibly do for the up and coming weekend, or at least for the weekend following. So far we've got two failed. I remember that now. Let's have a look. Okay, we need some resource points, so let's scratch the R&D. We do have a new upgrade for this race. We've got the oil pressure pump coming, so we should have a bit more power. Be nice to have a little bit more on the straights. Enough about that though. So some of the things I'd actually like to see in F1 2019, the actual season itself, obviously not the game. Obviously with the intentions of Liberty Media reducing the area, making the cars being able to get closer, hopefully we should see a little bit more racing, a little bit more sort of, or even if it's not more racing, closer racing, whether that's between the top teams or whether that's between mid-pack, bottom-pack, whatever, just so that we see a little bit more action. I think in recent years, especially with the change to the V6 engines, Formula 1's not quite as exciting as it used to be. I don't know, oh yeah, it used to be dangerous, blah blah blah. I understand that, but that is the nature of the beast. That is motorsport. It is a dangerous thing to be in. So let's get the car set up quickly. I think I should have one set. Facts. Let's not get the car set up. Let's have a look at what we're going to have to deal with over the weekend.
Let's get our track acclimatization
program. Race could be interesting. Might see a little bit of rain. Let's get the car set up for the weekend. So custom setup. Let's have a look. See what we've got. Germany. There we go. We have one already. Let's get out and earn some resource points. We'll start with a quick track acclimatization. I haven't played the game in a little while, so I might be a little bit rusty. One of the things though I'd like to see implemented into the game for next season, I think I mentioned it in my last live stream when I did an online campaign with my buddy, is that I'd quite like to see the wear carry over to online seasons, just because I think it might make things a little bit more interesting. Obviously that would be something that would be nice if you could turn it on and off, because obviously some people aren't going to want to play that all the time. They might just want to go on with their mates and just play some Formula 1. So sort of it is what it is, but it'd be nice to see that aspect in Formula 1 online, so that people that do want to sort of maybe play a little bit more competitively with friends, a little bit more realistically, if you like, can see that, or can at least do that. I don't know. I guess in my opinion, it'd be something that could be nice to be carried over or implemented into the next game. Oh, terrible exit out of that corner there. But it's nice to see now all the cars in testing. I think, unfortunately, Williams are going to have another terrible season. They've had an absolutely terrible start to the testing phase. Hopefully they're not going to have a terrible season and they're going to be up there fighting again. But time will soon tell. Obviously with the start of the season closing in on us, we'll soon find out. It's going to be interesting to see what Honda can pull out of the bag for Red Bull. It's a shame that they couldn't do that for McLaren. Obviously that isn't just on the part of Honda. I know McLaren have had several chassis issues and probably still do have issues with aerodynamics and chassis. I think all teams are probably going to have some issues with aerodynamics there actually this season. First, nice first lap there through track acclimatization. This is actually one of my favourite tracks on the game. I'm hoping that I can put on a decent drive for you guys actually. I am known amongst my friends to go, oh yeah, I love this track, and then lap 3, yeah, I'm out, I've crashed. So hopefully it's not going to go that way. I know, yeah, you can use flashbacks, but I try not to. Obviously, on a real racetrack, you can't just go, oh no, sorry, I didn't mean to do that, mate, let's go flash that back. If only you could. But thinking of the top teams, Ferrari looking very strong in pre-season testing, and Barcelona at the moment. Mercedes not looking so strong actually, but I think personally they've got the car turned down. I know there's a lot of hype at the moment about Mercedes. I've lost what I was going to say there. There's a lot of speculation behind Mercedes having turned the car down and not being quite with it, but I personally think I kind of agree with that. I know that the past few seasons they have shown dominance early on in pre-season testing, but this could well be a tactic to show that, oh yeah, we're not really a contender this season. In fact, they might not be. It's quite a dramatic change. It dramatically changes how the car's going to handle. So, speaking of Vettel just going past us there as well. Speaking of Ferrari, it'd be nice. It's already nice to see that Leclerc is putting some competitive lap times down. I hope to see him do well this season. It would be nice if he beat his rival Vettel, but. Or his teammate, should I say, not rival. It'd be nice to see that, but that's me speaking strictly as not Vettel's biggest fan. I think he definitely had a bad season last season. He needs to get out, get his head in the game, and come back. It's going to be a fantastic season if Mercedes have got a strong car, Ferrari have got a strong car, even if Red Bull as well up there, the top 3 teams. If we've got 3 strong cars up there, there's 6 contenders for the title. What's more exciting than that? It should be a fantastic season if pre-season testing is anything to go by so far. But with that, obviously, lots of issues again. So let's that was a quick track acclimatization there, not too bad. Obviously still do I struggle myself personally with trying to come up with something to talk about and trying to concentrate on the race at the same time, so I don't think we're doing too bad there. I think let's get on to let's do a race strategy. Let's get there, let's do a few laps, get a few laps in and get some data. Let's see what we can do. It'd be beneficial, I think, if we had another live stream with my friend on here. A bit more of a discussion, as his opinions on the new season are going to be, or some of his opinions at least, are going to be wildly different from mine. Certainly on the Ferrari and Vettel front, because he's a Vettel fanatic. He's very much a fan. So I really want Leclerc to win. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of rivalry there this season, but so far it's looking good. And just a topic off of the last live stream I did as well, it's going to be interesting. Well, it's interesting now that all the liveries have been released and how not so exciting they've been. The main one I want to comment on is Red Bull. They released this absolutely fantastic, absolutely stunning livery for the test phase, and they're not going to use it for the race. It's just a one-off test livery. I think it's so disappointing because it looks fantastic on the car. It's something a bit different from Red Bull. You know, even though yes, the livery has changed since they've been in the sport, it's still the same thing. It's still blue with a bull on it. Obviously, you don't expect that to change. It's the major signature of the brand, but this sort of red camouflage patch type of livery, I think it really suits the car. It really looks well. It'd go down as a new image for the team, I think. But obviously, they want to stick with the matte blue. Ferrari have sort of spiced up their livery a little bit with some black, but again, it's much Ferrari, isn't it? It's red, which I think we all expected, really. Ferrari is going to be red. I think the biggest change I've noticed in livery is probably McLaren, actually, come to think of it. It's stunning. Alright, yeah, fair enough, they probably only added a little bit of blue, but it's a good car. It's a great colour combination. It's nice to see that we've kind of left all of these silver cars back in the past. And actually, I lied to you when I said it's the biggest transformation. It's not, is it? The Haas team have gone for what appears to be a Lotus, classic Lotus inspired John Player special type thing. It's fantastic again. It looks brilliant on the car. It sort of brings a bit more depth into the sport instead of the silvers and whites. Not that we have much of that anymore, to be honest. You know, you've got Mercedes that are silver. You've got Williams white again, but Williams again, another team to spice up the livery as well. But I think we're looking quite good for the 2019 season. It's just, yeah, I think I don't know why I thought I was going to say something then, but right on the tip of my tongue and it's gone. Seems pretty standard. I do think as well, F1 2018, obviously first game with the halo implemented, and with me using a wheel. I'd actually quite like to use the cockpit view, but I can't get past the halo. I know you can turn it off in this gameplay, but one thing that does actually is really striking is when you play as the classic cars. Obviously they don't have the halo because they are before it was brought in, and you go from playing the classic cars back to the modern F1 cars, and it just appears that so much more of your screen has just disappeared because there's this massive bar that appears there, and I don't care what anybody says, to be honest. I think that that halo definitely stopped Nico Hülkenberg getting out of that car in Abu Dhabi. He said it himself, he's just hanging there like a cow, and that for a driver, especially when there's smoke coming out of the back of your car, that's got to be terrifying. You know, they need to sort of implement something that is going to be a little bit better for the driver. I can't imagine it helps visibility with this massive bloody bar, block, support, strut, whatever you want to call it, right in his field of vision. I know it'd irritate the hell out of me, but then I'm a bit picky choosy like that. But as I mentioned the classics earlier, it's something I'd actually quite like to talk about for the 2019 game. It'd be a good improvement if they could bring in some more of the modern classics. I know I'm not saying to ditch any cars. It'd be nice to bring in some more modern classics and some more classic circuits. So for me personally, my childhood team was the Jaguar, bright green with white HSBC logo, livery, sorry, not logo, and gold wheels. That is Formula One in my head, because that is what it was like when I was growing up. Eddie Irvine at the time being my favourite driver. Still think he's a fantastic driver. Fair enough, he might have only won, I think he only won one title, I think. Don't quote me, I might be wrong. But yeah, absolutely fantastic to see stuff like that. It'd be awesome to see more modern classic cars in F1 2019, with circuits and maybe even driver names as well, because obviously when you play the classic cars you get a random driver name. I think it'd be nice to see classic drivers in there, you know, Michael Schumacher, Eddie Irvine, Fisichella, Eddie Jordan, the list goes on. Obviously it's endless. Obviously I imagine there are reasons that they can't put names in permission wise or whatever, I don't know, but it'd be nice to see nice to see them in there. There's a few of the cars that I had a discussion about that should go in, and I've completely lost my marbles. That seems to be me at the moment. I'll tell you what, we're not going to do another unlap, we're going to save a bit of wear on this engine. Return to the garage. I think we'll do one more practice program for this session, and we'll get on with qualifying, because watching me just drive around in practice probably can't be that interesting. So let's get qualifying pace out of the way, see how well we do, get qualifying done, get on with the race. Let's make things a bit more interesting for you guys, because I can't imagine listening to me talk about Formula 1 is all too interesting. But there we go. I'd say any feedback is more than welcome. I don't really take anything to heart either, so say whatever you like, I don't really care. I do apologise if you can hear some background noise. My Thrustmaster steering wheel is a bit ghetto mounted, if you like. Obviously I haven't invested in a play seat yet. I don't really have the room for it at the moment. I'm sure that will change very soon. Any suggestions for future videos, any comments on this video of course are more than welcome. It's just something I do to sort of pass the time, if you like. I'm hoping to post some, it's completely off topic, but I'm hoping to post some videos on my Project MX5 coming up at the moment, as it's nearing completion, so I've got some interesting things to put up here. Again, if that's something that would interest you, let me know in the comments, send me a message, whatever. I'm also looking for a decent camera that I can be filming this on, because at the minute I have a Google Pixel 2. I know the camera's good, but I'm not quite sure it's YouTube quality.
Let's try to find a bit more.
Okay, we're not doing so well at the moment. Let's see if we can get a good time in. Sorry, engage at concentration mode. Yeah, it's not going to get time in now anyway. ARS is far too depleted. But we'll see. Let's see what we can get time. It is only practice, and I only tend to do one-shot qualifying, because once I've done a few practice programs in P1, I kind of get bored. Just want to get on with the race, really. But if you don't do the practice programs, you don't earn the resource points, can't do the upgrades, and your car's just not competitive. Which it's a factor I like about the game, but it's also one of the biggest factors that it just grinds, the constant grind for resource points to put it through the race. And I know this has changed from 2017, where you actually get quite a lot more for the race.
Final lap of the program.
But yeah, constantly having to grind for resource points it can get a bit tiring. You know, you do 2 or 3 races and it's sort of, I've had enough now, because not only have you done 2 or 3 races, you've had to do practice sessions and the qualifying. But at the same time, I do enjoy that aspect. You know, it's good. It means that you can take a bottom team like McLaren, Toro Rosso, Williams. You can start at the bottom and make the car better, just make it work. and it's good to see. And then obviously when you move, they carry on from where you left off, which is even better because you get this completely different grid from what it would be in real life racing. And it's nice to see that they're not just sticking to the same old code of, yeah, Mercedes is going to win, yeah, Mercedes is going to win, yeah, Mercedes is going to win. Oh look, Max Verstappen got the podium. Because as much as, yeah, everyone enjoys a bit of realism, we'll enjoy living in dreamland every now and then as well.
Okay, test complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that.
Okay, nice result there. I think that was a P1. Sorry, grab myself a drink because my throat's getting a little bit dry here. I think that was a P1. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, by quite a while, but then we are on ultra softs. Hamilton has only set one on softs, and he is only 6/10 behind. So we could be in for it in qualifying, but let's go now. Let's get on with some qualifying.
Look at the classification
And,
at the end of the session. Then here are your top three.
Let's see how we do in qualifying. Get on with the race. That's good. But yeah, unfortunately, I've let myself down this season, or this year, should I say. I haven't been keeping tabs on Formula One probably as much as I should do. I've completely forgotten most of the regulation changes, apart from obviously the aeros being changed. So I haven't really got that much to talk about, unfortunately. Probably should have written a little script or something, but there you go. So let's see what they got to say to us. See what our target is for qualifying. Weather forecast. Okay, end of the race could be a bit interesting. Might see a little bit of rain. Okay, right. Let's jump in. Let's just get straight in there. I think this is more of a let's play than a discussion, but there we go. It is what it is. So another gameplay that should be coming up sometime soon is probably a Dirt 2. I haven't got it yet. My friend has. I'll post a link to his channel in the description. He's got a couple of live streams. He's got one up on Dirt 2 or Dirt Rally 2.0 already. And by his standards, it's a great game. He plays Rallycross mainly. He absolutely loves the stuff. But I'll put a link into his channel. Go check out his live stream. Check out a couple of other videos on my channel. I think I've only actually done 2 where I've actually spoken. It's not something that I tend to like doing, but try new things. You never know. I got a couple of Dirt Rally videos, original Dirt Rally videos on there. Not brilliant, most of them just crashing, but yeah, everyone enjoys watching somebody crash. It's funny. So here we go then. One shot qualifying. Let's see if we can get pole position. For any of you wondering what wheel I'm using, I am using the Thrustmaster T150. I'm not endorsed or anything by Thrustmaster or anybody like that, of course. You choose whichever controller wheel you like best. I chose it personally because it was sort of the first semi-decent one with force feedback that I'd seen. I know the Logitech G29 is supposed to be fairly good as well, but it's like I said, it was the first one. I may well change it. I may well go for a Logitech at some point, just because I want the gear shift. But I'd also quite like a Fanatec. Although I do think that is a bit living in dreamland, rather pricey. I think that pole has eluded us ever so slightly. I reckon we're probably P4.
We're very happy with that position. Well done.
P5, okay, not too bad. Just gonna have to watch it go into the first corner because I'm a bit of a liability when it comes to breaking wings, but they should make things a little bit. Oh, hello, Fernando Alonso there, 6/10 slower than us. Could be good for the McLaren weekend. So jump into the race then. Yeah, so currently I'm using a Thrustmaster T150. Quite like it. I enjoy using it. It was a big step going from a pad to a steering wheel. I can't say I'd go back. In fact, I can't go back. Every time I try and play a driving game, a racing game with a pad, I can't do it. I fail absolutely miserably. So I'm very much a wheel person now. Yeah, it's really good. I bet you're getting really tired of these now. But there you go.
That was a good qualifying.
Not even going to look at the messages. Let's just do the race. Hamilton's target. He's our main rival for this part of the season. We just had Kimi Räikkönen's last one. He's been beat now, so didn't want to do it again. I know he'll give me the most respect if I beat him, but let's mix it up. Different people. But yeah, I think going back to the 2019 season as well, even though it won't happen in the 2019 season, I would absolutely love it if Hamilton won again. I really want him to win another 2 titles. I'd love for him to match Michael Schumacher's record. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I think he's still one of the best drivers in the sport. In the sport's history, he's up there with Schumacher. He's up there with Niki Lauda, James Hunt, obviously Sebastian Vettel, Jenson Button, Fernando Alonso. I think when it comes to Formula 1, it's not necessarily about your title wins. I think it's about how you are as a driver. Jeremy Clarkson, Jenson Button, it's only won one, but I think he's one of the most fantastic drivers in the sport. He's such a gentleman racer. That is what I like about him. So we're going to go for high tire management. We're going to one stop this. I think it's going to give us the best opportunity, and it looks like that the best pit window is going to be on lap 5 as well. So I think that's when we're going to pit. Going to put a little bit more fuel in, a couple of laps more, so we can push the car a little bit more. We can run in rich for a little bit longer. See what happens. But I am ready to race. So let's make this a bit more interesting. I haven't got manual starts on at the moment. Just something I forgot to do completely. And I still got an absolutely awful start, so that just says Fernando Alonso there trying to give us no room, and we got an illegal overtake. A little bit of a dirty move there. I think I did push Perez out of the way, but he did get the dive bomb up the inside, so there we go. Cheeky strip zoom. Let's try and have him around the outside. And it worked off. It worked out. Now I'll go for our teammate. He's not covering the inside. I thought he'd backed out then as well. No, I can't take that one. Ah, and we've let... Oh, bloody hell. It's not a good start to the race. Collision with Ocon. How did I hit Ocon? Okay, we've got a lot of places to make up now, especially if we want a chance of winning this race. Dropped 5 positions now in the first lap. It's not the start we were hoping for. A little bit of a lock-up, avoiding some contact with Ocon. We're going to have a bit of a battle up the straight here with Daniel Ricciardo. He's got the Red Bull, so obviously he's a lot faster than me in a straight line. Hopefully we can stick this up the inside. Oh! And we can have Ocon at the same time. Was not expecting that.
We're accumulating some wear on the MG UK. To match this, we'll need to lower
yes,
the RS
Jeff.
deployment mode.
Jeff's inevitable interruptions, normally midway through a corner. I like the feature "Shut Up, Jeff," because it's absolutely hysterical. but I'd much prefer it. Leave me alone. I know what I'm doing. Kimi Raikkonen style voice command, because I think that would just add to the hilarity of telling your race engineer to shut up. Of course, it's not something you would want to do.
Approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
Oh! Absolute dive bomb up the inside of Alonso there. I should really give him that back, but if I do, I'm going to lose too many places.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
I think Jeff might be a little bit wrong there. I'm not quite sure that was a great pass, but there we go, we got past Alonso. Now, for Nico Hülkenberg, I think one of the most underrated drivers on the grid. Be interesting to see what he can do this season. I think he's still for Renault, I can't remember if he is. Be good to see what he can do in Renault. If he's moved, it'd be nice to see wherever he's moved to. But it'd be good to see what he can do.
Reduce ERS deployment.
See what he can do alongside Daniel Ricciardo. I believe it's him and Daniel Ricciardo at Renault, but again, don't quote me. I'm not brilliantly up to date with Formula 1 at the moment. A little bit of a lock up there. I always do that. Every single time, I always catch that inside curb on that corner. And every single time I get the same result. It tries to send the ass of the car around.
We're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes. We're leading our teammate by 2.
10 to 15 minutes on this game is normally about half an hour, because I'm sure Jeff will be on the radio again in about 10 or 15 minutes and tell me that rain is going to be here in 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, purple first. We're looking good for this race now. We're in medium. Let's get some. So well, let's turn the battery right the way down.
Okay, some information on Magnussen. They are out of the race.
Let's get some battery charging up and really push for Nico Hülkenberg. So at the moment we're just sat in this stagnant spot with not a lot of action going on, even though obviously it's better for the aero, but let's just go, let's get it done.
Be aware we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
Okay, so we're supposed to box next lap, however his tyres are feeling pretty good. So I'm going to ignore Jeff. We're now within a second of Nico Hülkenberg.
This lap, push hard on the in-lap.
Yeah, Jeff, we're not going to box this lap. Sorry to tell you. Sometimes you've just got to send it. And that is exactly what we're going to do. Oh, Hülkenberg having a cheeky look up the inside of Sergio Perez there. Perez doing a fantastic job of holding Nico up for me. We're absolutely storming up to this pair. I did think about a cheeky look up the inside, but we didn't quite get it. Hülkenberg has actually gone past Perez now as well, which is a good thing, because Perez is quite a lot slower. So let's have him.
Box this lap, please.
I'd kindly like to decline your offer of box, Jeff. Yeah, that was a bit of a lunge, I do admit, up the inside of Perez, so I'm quite glad that didn't work out, because I think that would have been a little bit cheeky to keep that place, just like it was at Alonso, but there you go. Absolutely send it. That Mercedes power unit. It's got nothing on my Honda power unit. Apparently. And I really just went and fucked that up, didn't I? Oh dear. It's clearly going to be one of those races, ladies and gents. Once again, sorry for the silence, just going to engage concentration mode here, try and make up a little bit more time on Perez, even though I believe he will be in the box this lap.
Understood, stopping this lap. Fernando's in for his stop.
I think we might have just screwed, yeah, we have literally just screwed Alonso over here. I'm so sorry. He's having a bad race and it's all my fault.
Go, exit now. We're racing on the exit.
Hopefully we haven't held him up too much.
Speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
Okay, so we're now out in P6 behind Hulkenberg, so our strategy didn't quite pay off there. But let's see if we can recover this. We haven't got to stop now for the rest of the race, so let's see what we can do with it. Let's get a bit more ERS deployment. Certainly not going to make up time like that. I know a lot of you are probably going to comment on the fact that I still use the racing line. And the reason for that is I just don't get enough time to sit and play this game. It's next to impossible for me to learn the tracks. I'm never going to do it. I never get enough time. I know a lot of you are going to say, well, that's what practice is for. It's like, yeah. But when I come and play a game like this, I mostly like to just sit and relax. I don't play it because I want to be good at it. I just play it because I enjoy playing it. Really starting to gain on Hulkenberg now.
That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Much better pace from me there. So we've got DRS, ERS in hot lap and Rich. I think we should have him up here.
Nice move. Good job.
That's more of the standard of overtake. Yeah, I like to practice. But yeah, sometimes you've got to go for a cheeky dive bomb. It doesn't always pay off, does it? But like Daniel Ricciardo says, sometimes you just got to lick that stamp and send it. I think if I manage to pull a race win off it, I might just have to do a shoey because it's looking pretty impossible for me at the moment.
We're expecting it in around 5 minutes. 5 minutes till the rain.
Okay, rain in 5 minutes. That could really mix things up. Just as we set another purple lap time there. Getting good at this now, or getting the hang of it, should I say? Getting into the rhythm. Better phrasing. Well, I don't know what Jeff's on about with his rain, because it looks pretty damn clear in that sky. Coming up on Valtteri Bottas now. Well, normally I wouldn't say this because I've got a complete dry setup on here. But I actually want some rain because I know how slow the AIs are when it comes to rain, and it helped me out getting the dub. But if you guys want to see any other videos, any Battlefield 5, Battlefield 4, anything really, just leave a comment in the comment section, see what I can do. I am trying to get more sort of edited videos instead of live streams. Live streams just turn out to be a lot easier and a lot faster to do. Obviously it means having to try and think of conversation, of topics while driving, which ultimately slows me down because, you know, when you're trying to put in fast lap times, all you want to do is concentrate and then add some commentary over the top at the end. But you know, it is what it is. Just hoping that this racing's been a little bit interesting, a little bit enjoyable for you. Hopefully we should start catching Bottas fairly soon, where we are a second off our pace. Gap have we got to Bottas? 3 seconds. 3.6 seconds.
Our gap behind is 4.3 seconds.
Another purple sector 1. It's good. Lap time's looking good now. Let's just catch up to the leaders, hopefully. Five laps to go, and still no sign of rain. I don't think we're going to get any before the end of this race, which is unfortunate.
If we turn down the ERS deployment, we can harvest more energy.
Jeff piping in there halfway through a corner as standard. I think that's his favourite thing. I think they've programmed it. Yeah, that's a... Talk to people in the most off-putting stage of racing, halfway through a corner. Slightly irritating. That was going to be another purple lap had we kept that up, but ERS decided there that no. Again, another purple first sector. I can't really say much about there. We did get an exceeded track limits warning, so let's use some of this fuel up, as we can't use ERS. It does look like... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sausage fingers. Let's not do a flashback. All I wanted to know was that.
Bottas is ahead of you. The gap to the car ahead is 2.5 seconds. You're gaining by around 6/10 a lap.
Okay, so we're out.
Softs. Their tyres are 7 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 18.3.
Just go on a bit, don't you, Jeff? So we're actually reeling Bottas in, which is good.
The gap to the car behind is 6.1 seconds. is 23.6 seconds.
Not so good first sector this time. The first corner wasn't very good.
5 laps of fuel remaining.
Let's keep it in, Rich, all the way to the end. It's not actually my best circuit. I think if we'd have gone to France or something, it might have been a bit different, but then it could have probably been a bit boring had it been on my best circuit, because obviously you can put good lap times in. It's interesting to see good lap times. Racing only gets so interesting when the person you're watching is leading the entire race for the entire video.
Hamilton is in first place.
Is that some rain I saw there? I think it is. It's come far too late though. But hopefully we've got 3 laps left. Let's get Bottas.
Heavy rain arriving in under 10 minutes.
You never know, we might have to go for inters. This could be an interesting decision. If it rains enough to need inters, but we only have a lap left, is it worth going in for them? Could bring in a bit of a strategy issue here, but it's a shame the rain didn't come earlier.
Reduce the ERS deployment, please. We need to charge the battery.
Whatever you say, Jeff.
Yellow flag.
Ooh! Hamilton's had an issue. Hamilton's out. That means we're P4. If we push to get Bottas, there's a podium in this for us.
Gap to car in front is 1.8 seconds.
It's down to 1.8, however it's getting slippery. This could come down to a last lap battle. Let's have a play with some settings, shall we? We're really reeling that Mercedes in now. Let's just really hope we can get it. Massive lockup, absolutely massive lockup. That's not helped us at all.
The energy store is getting warm, reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
Oh, this is not good.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining. Some information on Vettel. May have some kind of mechanical problem.
Come on, Vettel drop out as well. I know it's not the third we deserve, but DRS is disabled. Really starting to struggle now in these wet conditions. We were right on the back end of Bottas and he's just gone now. This isn't fair.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline. This is your final lap of the race.
It is like driving on ice. It really, really is. Let's have all the ERS we can have. I think we need to move that brake bias forwards just a touch. We could, if we're not careful, end up back in P5 here. I'm not on the last lap, that's not something we want. Really, really is like driving on ice now. I'm just struggling to slow down for corners. I can't get in. Oh, that's it. That's it. P5. It's going to be P5. Yep. If it could be P fucking 0 it. P6. P7. Come on, get off the grass. Absolute scenes here. No Verstappen. Lost 2 plenty places as it is. P8. Oh, how disappointing. So close to the end. 8th of 8th. At least it's some points. Well, thank you for watching, guys. I hope that wasn't too disinteresting for you. I hope to put some more videos up sometime soon.
Wherever you go, anywhere
See you all later.
the prancing horse flags